Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and welcome to the science class for year 5 from me with me Cikgu Roni. But before that, we start our lesson with the citing dua. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Rabbi zidni ilma warzuqni fahma. Wa sallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. Walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Okay, for today's lesson objectives, it would be to identify the main parts of the transport system, that is the heart, blood, and blood vessels. We also you shall also describe or learn about the gross function, the main function of the transport system. So steps taken would be we shall talk about main parts of the transport system and its function one by one. So before that, recap the movement system, which is the skeletal system and muscular system. So skeletal system, all bones in our body makes up skeletal system. The functions are gives our body support, protects important organs in our body such as our brain, heart and lungs. Our skeleton also works with our muscles to keep our body moves. So there are many parts in a skeletal system, but you need to remember this six part: skull, rib cage, arm bone, backbone, hip bone, and leg bone. Okay, the next would be muscular system. When we move arms up and down, the bones in our arms will pull by muscle. All bones and muscle in our body make up the movement system. So bones and muscles combined makes up the movement system. So, like I said last week, muscles can only pull, it cannot push. In this picture, it shows when we want to fold our arms, the muscle on top will pull. When we want to straighten our arms, the muscle at the bottom will pull your bones, arm bones, and the top will relax. Okay, we move on to today's topic, that is the transport system. Another part of our body system, which is the transport system. So the transport system started with heart. This is a heart. The heart is a group of muscles that pumps blood to all parts of our body. Now the function is to pump blood to all parts of our body. Now this is a muscle, but it is not like our muscle in the movement system. This muscle have a different function. The function is to pump blood to all parts of our body. Now, another part in our transport system would be blood. Blood contains food and oxygen that our body needs to function. When you use a microscope or something electron microscope, something to magnify our view, this is more or less, this is the view of our blood cells. So this is our blood. It looks like this inside our blood. When we cut our hand, it's red, but when we look at the microscope, it looks like this. So this blood moves from the heart to all parts of our body through small tubes called blood vessels. So all of this, it looks like the root of a tree, are called blood vessels. From the big tubes will divide it into smaller tubes and divide it more into more smaller tubes. There are names for that. There are special names for these tubes, but for year 5 you only need to know this as blood vessels. So when it gets to the end, like this finger, when it gets, the tube moves until the end of your finger. It will be very small, like this end, like this end. It will be very, very small tube here. Okay, let's check one more time. Blood move from the heart to all parts of our body through small tubes called blood vessel. Now the function is some blood are transported away from the heart and other blood vessels transported blood back to the heart. So this blood vessel, the function is to transport blood from the heart to other parts of the body and back into the heart. Okay, now if you can see here, transport system, our heart, blood vessel, and blood make up our transport system. Now what does the transport system transport? It transports food and oxygen. Now, more or less, when the heart pumps like this in this picture, it pumps. Now, the blood on the left will move through. No, no, I think it's on the right. Will move through here. The red one, the red, and it move away from the heart to other parts of the body, and it will go back in the blue. No, now remember, this is colored to let you know which blood is which. Actually, there's no color in our body. There's no blue, no red, no blue blood vessel or red blood vessel. No, there's no color, but just this picture to show you how the blood vessel works, how the blood works. Now they say that in this picture, red is blood that contains food and oxygen. The red colored, it contains food and oxygen, and it will go from the heart and sent to other parts of our body. And then when the food and oxygen is used, they will go back to get some more in from the blue tube here, blue blood vessel. Yes, and then it moved more or less like this. And this picture, this is the blood moving through blood vessels. If you can see here, more or less that way. Uh, this is the smaller blood vessel. The bigger the blood vessel, the more blood it would be here. Okay, this is our blood, more or less. I think this is from a microscope. It is the same, but the picture is more or less like this. Now remember, blood transport food and oxygen from the heart to other parts of our body. Okay, worksheet. Worksheet are provided through Google Forms. Like usual, lesson notes are also given. If you cannot watch the video, just read the lesson notes from the link provided. Now let's check today's lesson. Heart, blood vessels, and blood makes up our blood system. Our heart are a group of muscles that pumps blood to all parts of our body. Blood contains and carries food and oxygen that our body needs to function. And number four, blood vessels are tubes to transport blood. Some tubes transport blood away from the heart. Other tubes transport blood back to the heart. Okay, now thank you for watching. You may like my video, subscribe or share with your family and friends. Until next week, we shall meet again. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and see you.